Mr. Henry, do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? As to all the charges that you're facing, the maximum possible penalties are as follows. Life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years.
The PZ Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
Like, they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They'll be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
YW. Mortland, YNW Melly's co-defendant, was offered a 16-year plea agreement today, and he has until tomorrow to make up his mind. If found guilty, he faces 5 life sentences plus 75 years. It would be obvious to accept Mortland's 5 life sentences, which include 2 first-degree witness tampering charges for directing activities of a criminal act, and additional witness tampering as stated in the plea deal offer sheet. These charges would be combined into a 16-year prison sentence with time served.
Mr. Henry, do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? Okay, you're charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital felonies, which means it's a mandatory life sentence. If the jury convicts you of count 1 or count 2 as charged, that's life in Florida State Prison. I have no discretion. Count 3 and count 4 are accessory after the fact to the first degree. Those are each first degree felonies. The maximum penalty for each of those is 30 years in Florida State Prison. Count 1 is tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State Prison. Is directing the activities of a criminal. That's a first degree felony punishable by life. So the maximum penalty there is also life in Florida State Prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. And again, as it's charged, that is also a life felony. As to all the charges that you're facing, the maximum possible penalties are as follows. Life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State Prison.
As previously mentioned, YNW Melly's double retrial has been rescheduled, indicating that the prosecutors have a very clear approach. In order to give the state attorney's office time to examine a motion, the 4th District Court of Appeals granted a stay in the case during a hearing on Friday. Due to this date, the trial has been rescheduled from September to January 2027. In the meantime, Bortlen's trial is about to start. They are attempting to strike a bargain, which is why they are doing this. With Bortlen, YW, the news article that started it all stated, a no communication order has now been filed in the YNW Melly trial. Melly and Bortlen are totally cut off by the edict. Silence. No legal talk, no talking. Since this frequently occurs in court cases with 2 guilty people who are attempting to flip on one another, having Bortlen go against Melly is a slam dunk for the prosecution, even the news reported.
Issue here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together, just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again, do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on, but I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. You're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
Melly will be found guilty at his trial in 2027 if YNW Bortlen is on their side. Bortlen receives a very light punishment as part of his plea agreement, which only requires him to attest to the veracity of the evidence against Melly. Bortlen will be physically incapable of committing this grave offense if he is aware that he did not. He will clearly point the finger at Melly after sitting there and taking life in jail to the chin, exactly like YNW Melly did against Bortlen during the first trial. You may not even be aware that in the first trial, Melly's attorney attempted to blame YNW Bortlen for the crime.
His lies. Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar, and you don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with two bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Melly's attorney is claiming that the jury was the one who lied to the federal government. It was Bortlen, whose hands were covered in powder residue, and when they passed, he was the last one wearing a Juvian sack chaser. To further explain that Bortlen had the powder residue on his hands, Melly's solicitors even consulted a forensic expert who had studied the deaths.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of shot residue and two component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of shot residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was shot residue present on the hands.
Additionally, you were unaware that since Melly's lawyers took that action, Borland and Melly had not even spoken to one another. This is why a report stated that Borland tweets a mysterious message on the same day Melly's mistrial was declared, after Melly's mistrial was declared. According to the tweet, "Mind games don't work on people like me." Borland has been considering a plea bargain since Melly's mistrial, as evidenced by the handshake emoji he uses to indicate that he is accepting a deal. Even more worrisome, though, is that Borland has every incentive to turn on Melly given what was discovered in his house.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
Here are pictures of the purported notes that were found during YW Bortlen's house search last week, and that the state filed with the Broward clerks, as Rice and Paul would have announced. Alongside these pictures of Bortlen, there was a description of each juror's appearance along with the location of their seats. It appeared as though Borland was preparing to make a concession to YNW Melly in front of these jurors who would have found him guilty just before Melly's solicitors began presenting damaging evidence against Borland.
Keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
This is where Melly starts to worry a lot. And let me explain. All of the fresh evidence that the prosecutors wish to utilize against Melly will be verified by YW Bortlen. This Facebook post from Young Thug to YW Melly, in which he attempts to claim that Melly is a member of the same Red Street squad as Young Thug, is one piece of fresh evidence they wish to provide.
Same thing, the use of the slap term 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, he's hanging with him. And he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Devins has the big B hand signs displayed.
Right, and these individuals again, I'm assuming that's also the young thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and test.
Morton knows he will accept the plea offer and verify the evidence anyhow. So he even tried to urge his attorneys to let the prosecutors utilize it within the courtroom. The media reported, today's hearing marks the first time he publicly went against his legal team's advice in open court, where YNW Melly was seen yelling at his lawyers.
Yes, sir.
Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
You objected to it. Your request will need to determine this automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us, yes.
In the courtroom, people heard YNW Melly shouting at his solicitors, saying, "I don't care. I don't belong to any gang." They are unable to demonstrate that.
924-071. Call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership in a gang. There were things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the for the further conviction, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
Even more troubling, though, is the additional piece of evidence they intend to use. An ex-O-Black member who snitched on YNW Melly and disclosed a secret that YNW Melly had shared with King Vaughn prior to Vaughn's death and Melly's incarceration. They were best buddies. But King Vaughn informed the people of O-Black that YNW Melly had asked them for their opinions on how to handle people. And you understand what he's talking about if you have any knowledge of King Vaughn.
Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around?
And that's where things stand right now in YNW Melly's case. With new evidence, plea deals, and even old friends turning into potential witnesses. Do you think Melly can still beat this case? Or is it only a matter of time before the truth catches up? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more updates on this story. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.